Some men are demons. This is why, as a woman, you gotta be careful the kind of man you fall in love with. You gotta be careful the kind of man you spread your legs for. Be careful the kind of man you get pregnant for, because some men are evil. So, after 2 years, a 30-year-old man by the name of Kevon Warren has been charged and found responsible for the death of his 26-year-old girlfriend, India Kinamo, who was shot dead by armed robbers in their home with him by her side on the 4th of March 2023, while she was 9 months pregnant, on the day she was due to give birth. Apparently, when this happened back in 2023, it was hard to pin it on the boyfriend, because the boyfriend was in the house, in the bed, when the armed robbers came in. Even her 6-year-old child was also in the house. When the armed robbers burst in, 2 men, they opened fire on her. They shot her and they fled the scene. So at the time, it was difficult to see how it could be him. However, when the police kept investigating, for 2 years they kept investigating. They kept him as a person of interest. He was a suspect, but they needed concrete evidence to see how he could have done it. And right now, this case is in court. And the police have come up with their investigation and their findings, and they have enough and sufficient evidence that shows that the demon that this lady was sleeping with, the demon that was by her side, the man who was supposed to protect her and her unborn baby who was already due to be given birth to, was the one who killed her. It's unclear how long Kevon and India had been together, but India seemed to already have a little child in the house who was 6-year-old. And I don't think that is Kevon's own child. They were not married, so this is a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And at this time, India was already 9 months pregnant, fully pregnant. And on this day, the 4th of March, was the day that she was supposed to go to the hospital to give birth. She was supposed to be due for some induced labor. However, all the while she was preparing for the happiest day of her life, her partner, the father of her unborn child, her boyfriend, her future husband-to-be, had been planning, orchestrating a way to kill her, to get rid of her. And why? The police investigation revealed that Kevon had asked India multiple times before this baby got to 9 months for her to abort the child. Through investigation, the police learned that Kevon had pressured India to get rid of this pregnancy as far back as when it was still new. But India wanted to keep the baby. They also learned that Kevon's financial situation was a mess. And they also learned that he was seeing another woman. At the same time, they went through his phone records and they were able to see conversations with him and 2 other guys whom he had already planned on how they would come into the house, the time they would come into the house, how they would set it up as though they had come to rob, and how they were going to kill India. All because she refused to abort the baby and she wants to have the baby, and also because he wanted to move on to another woman, adding to the fact that he's also broke. But that is not even the worst part of what these police found out in their investigation. They learned that days before he even killed this woman, at his workplace, Kevon had taken a bereavement leave. Like, he had asked his boss, he had gone to HR and told them that he needs some time off to mourn a loss. It's unclear if he told them who had died, but from what the police are saying and from what the workplace are corroborating, this guy had already taken off days from work to mourn his girlfriend before he killed her. That is to tell you how crazy and how premeditated this killing was. Ijikwanhu, what is this? If this is not the devil itself, I don't know what it is. And she was just there thinking she had found a man, she has found the love of her life, she's going to have this baby and raise it with a father who is going to be there. I don't understand what's with people, and like, if you did not want this child, why not just stay away from the relationship? Why not run away? Why not go and buy milk and not come back, rather than kill her and the baby? Because right now he's being charged for double homicide because the woman and the baby were killed. even though the baby had not been born, because in Ohio it's illegal to do abortion, and that could be why India could not do the abortion, because it was illegal for them to do it. She most likely considered it. But my thing is, even though it was illegal, I'm still sure there are ways to do it, and I just feel like she probably didn't want to do it because she was happy to have this child, because she already had one. So this wasn't a problem for her. She most likely did not know this guy's financial situation. He had most likely lied about it, and I think that is how you know this kind of guys. He had probably most likely given her hope that they were good, and when things started going left, money was drying up, he was looking at another woman, he started pressuring her to take off the pregnancy. And most possibly the pregnancy abortion was suggested at a time where it was already past 5 months, I guess. I'm just assuming, because they had enough time. You had enough time to have this conversation. You had enough time to, if it was illegal in Ohio, I'm sure in 2023 there are places you could travel to where it was legal, and they had enough time to do it. However, when he realizes that she's going to keep it and the baby was going to come up anytime soon, which would most likely ruin his new relationship with the new woman he has found, he decided to do this. Man. And according to the story, according to India's mom, when the armed robbers came and was shooting at India, the little child, the 6-year-old, was screaming, shouting, was on the phone calling the grandma, but there was no reaction from Kevin. There was no pushback. There was no fight back. The everywhere was silent. It was clear that he was in on it. He did not shout, "What do you want? Please leave my girlfriend." He did not go to help her. He just stayed mute, and that just happened before his eyes. Whereas the little child was busy yelling, shouting, and making calls. He did not do anything at the time. It was later on that he obviously would start acting as though his girlfriend had been shot and all of that. And I think that was the moment they figured that he most likely knew the people who came. And eventually, investigation proved that the two guys who came to kill his baby mama were his friends, the two guys he had hired. The evil that men do. You guys won't believe this story. A 23-year-old man by the name of Kevin Dominic was found dead in a canal 2 days after he went missing. Now, this is crazy because Kevin lived with his mother along with his 15-year-old brother named Dimitri. Put in mind that this happened in Dania Beach, Florida in the US. Although Kevin and Dimitri lived with their mother, there was no mention of their father. Kevin is said to be a very hardworking young man and a good older brother, more like the father figure of the house, pretty much. In a home where there is no dad, obviously the older son plays the role of the dad. And now that Kevin had a younger one, he's not just an older brother, but also a father figure. But I guess this is going to be a big problem for him, because on Sunday, the 17th of August 2025, Kevin returned home from work, and the moment he got home, he got shot 15 times all over his body, mercilessly, as though it was a cartel or a rival gang that had come to look for him. But that was far from it, because the person who had shot him was his 15-year-old brother, Dimitri. After Dimitri had shot Kevin, he put his body in his vehicle. That is, he used Kevin's vehicle to transport his body to a spot near Ocean Waterway Boulevard and dumped it by a canal. He then abandoned the vehicle near a library and went back home as though nothing happened. By the time their mother came back, she did not think much of it. They tried to reach out to Kelvin, but to no avail. They got to his job and they said Kelvin, had closed for the day. He didn't even show up the next day or the day after. And that was when, at this point, they started suspecting that something may have happened, because what's up? Nobody could reach Kelvin. However, before they could imagine the worst, 2 days later, on the 19th of August, a body was found floating in the canal where Kevin's body had been dumped, and the body was retrieved and identified to be Kevin Dominic. And it was at this point they knew he had died, and through visible injuries, they could tell that he had been shot 15 times. But there was no suspect. They did not know if Kevin was in a gang, if he had any rival problems, if he was robbed at home. To the best of their knowledge, he went home. And so the number one suspect became the 15-year-old brother, Dimitri. Dimitri was taken in by the police and was detained for questioning. And in this interrogation, he confessed to killing his brother. He did not deny it. But when his mother, Marie, learned that Dimitri was the one who had killed his older brother, she was confused. She did not believe it. However, she had an idea why he would have killed Kevin. And you guys will not believe the reason why Dimitri shot his older brother Kevin 14 times. Because even after Kevin's body was found, the mother, Marie, had to ask Dimitri, "What's up? Why did you do this? Was your brother sexually abusing you? Could that be the reason?" Because at this point, nothing made sense. Kevin was supposed to be this ideal big brother, was this father figure in the house, protective and basically just taking responsibility for things. At 23, he's taking on jobs and footing bills in that house. So it did not make sense that his younger brother, Dimitri, would waste 15 bullets on his brother. 15 is not 1, 2, or 3. 15 seems like a grudge, seems like the Hernandez murder all over again. Why 15? And that was why the mother was like, it gotta be something deeper than what she thought it was. But when she asked the question about the sexual abuse, Dimitri said no. Kevin did not sexually abuse him. However, according to the story, the mother said that on the day Kevin went missing, on the day Kevin was most likely have been killed, the day it all happened, when she came back from work that day, she noticed that the entire house was clean. This is what the mother, Marie, was saying. She said she noticed that the house was clean and she asked who cleaned the house, and Dimitri said that he was the one. And instantly, the mother knew that Dimitri would not have done this all by himself. So therefore, it was either Kevin helped him do it, which is unlikely because Kelvin also works and goes to work and come back, or Kelvin ordered him to do it. And this is where the mother believes that because Kevin told Dimitri, the brother, to do chores in the house, to clean the house, that was why the brother, Dimitri, shot him 15 times. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a story of a 15-year-old boy who shot his older brother 15 times, killing him brutally, driving his body to a canal, dumping it, and coming home to act like nothing happened, all because he was told to clean the house, all because he was told to do chores. This is why a young man by the name of Kevin lost his life. But I have a theory. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Are they brothers for real? Like, what? This doesn't add up. Don't get me wrong. It happens. Brothers kill brothers for the littlest reasons. But 15 bullets looks like a whole grudge to me, especially when the mother comes back and the house was very clean. But before I come back to my theory, eventually Dimitri was taken to court and they said he appeared unremorseful. He didn't look remorseful. He didn't look like he regretted his action. He looked like if he was given another chance, he would do it again and again. Even the lawyer that was hired to represent him was frustrated. He was like, what kind of a demon is this? Why are you still not, like, I'm trying to help you get out of this or even reduce your sentencing, and you're here acting like you've won a jackpot. And he had to quit for another lawyer to take over. As at the time of this story, the case is still in court, so it has been moved to September. Maybe we would follow this to see how this turned out to be, but I don't see any way. He's not denying it. He has pleaded guilty, so it's just for the court to see what they could argue and how they could make sense of this. What could it be? Could it really be because of chores? Is it because of chores? Is it because of sweeping and cleaning the house? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am a middle child and I have older brothers, and I can recall growing up and being told to do chores. It's annoying. It's a very, very annoying thing. As a 15-year-old, no 15-year-old wants to be ordered around or forced made to do chores. We do it, but it's not pleasant. However, did it ever get to the point of wanting to pick up a gun or any weapon to kill your brother, to kill a family member? Maybe he did. Maybe he did, but you know, we don't have that privilege to have guns here. And to be fair, our older brothers was going to whoop our ass anyway. So the point is, I get that it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's one or two things. Either Kevin was a very tough person and had to start getting into the role of being a father. You know, brothers can tell you to do this and order you, dads will yell and shout. And I guess that was the thing that was confusing. It's most likely one of those things where he had to juggle between being a dad and a father, whereas maybe what Dimitri wanted was just a brother. Brothers mess the house together, they mess up the house together, they play games together, they are usually partners in crime. But I think the Kevin had to not be a brother and started playing the role of a father, and I guess it became conflicting. And I also noticed something which I might be wrong. God forgive me. I don't want to offend any Black Americans who watch our channel, but from the articles I read, I noticed that Kevin and Dimitri seem to have different surnames. Kevin's surname is Kevin Dominic, and Dimitri's surname is Dimitri Flairmont. And their mother's name is Marie Genty. So clearly, this household seem to be the stereotype of a black woman having multiple baby daddies. So I'm gonna guess that they are of the same mom but not of the same dad. And I think if that's the case, then it could create some sort of tension, if you ask me. Maybe the bond wasn't there all the way. Maybe, just maybe. It's unfortunate. I can't wait to see how this turn out, how this ends. There might be something more than just the chores, or maybe it's the way Kelvin tells Dimitri to do the chores. Maybe he's physical, maybe he's abusive, maybe he beats him, yells at him, maybe he takes his mobile phone, destroys his games, and maybe, however, regardless of how he does it, it's still not a justification. It does not justify it. We've been done worse. We don't pick up anything to do anything to anyone. So it's unfortunate. It's pathetic.